Dear students, welcome to third semester zoology, paper 3, ecology, ethology and biodiversity. Today I am going to talk about habitat ecology. Under habitat ecology, I am going to talk about marine habitat. Marine habitat part 1, I am going to discuss about the limiting factors of marine habitat and the zonation of marine habitat. And marine habitat part 2, I am going to discuss about the marine life forms and their adaptations. So, what is habitat? Habitat is natural environment in which a particular species of organism lives. You may see this aerial view of Amazon forest and Amazon river. You have a chance to see both terrestrial habitat, land habitat, and the aquatic habitat, water habitat. So, let us concentrate on aquatic habitat. There are two main types, marine habitats and freshwater habitats. In marine habitats, ocean habitats, sea habitats, and estuarine habitats. Estuaries are the river mouth where river joins the sea. Freshwater habitats, where again it is divided into lentic habitat and lotic habitat. Lentic habitat, the standing water habitats of lakes, ponds, swamps, etc. Lotic habitat is flowing water or running water habitats of rivers and streams. So let us concentrate on marine habitat, the largest habitat on this earth, which makes up to 97% of all livable space on this earth. So, study of this marine habitat forms a branch of biology called marine ecology, which deals with the interrelation of organisms to physico-chemical factors of marine environment. Now, this is a multidisciplinary subject. It's called oceanography. Oceanography deals with the study of oceans with respect to physical, chemical, biological, and geological point of view. You may find the National Institute of Oceanography in Goa. It's a research institute. They also offer internships and MSc programs and research in oceanography. You may think about after your BSc programs. Have you ever been to seashore? This is a common scene you will able to find in the seashore. So a seashore is dominated by the waves and currents, and it is forming the shore area whitish waves you may see here. So then you will also see the sandy shore here, and you may see the rocky shore, and this part where the horizon where you will find this is the deep sea region. These are the shallow shallow water shore. So, oceans are vast bodies of water that cover roughly 70% of the earth. 5 oceans are interconnected body of salt water. So, you may see in this picture 5 oceans, they are interconnected: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Southern Oceans. So, the seas are smaller and they are limited by partially by the land. There are about 50 seas are present on this earth. So this seas and the ocean, their depth varies from 2 kilometer to 6 to 8 kilometers. Sometimes the deep water trenches, they may as deep as 10 to 14 kilometers. So these are major the seas of the world, 50 smaller seas scattered on this globe. We know our seas: Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, We also know about Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, etc. So, what are the main features of the sea or limiting factors? Limiting factors are the factors which are affecting the abundance and distributions of the organisms living in the marine habitat. So, the major factor marine water is saline in nature. So, it's the salinity that is due to the salts dissolved in the water. It is about 3.5% of salinity you will find in the seawater. So, you may wonder now what is the salinity of the fresh water, which is ranging between 0.1% to 0.001%. So, salinity in seawater is due to the salts dissolved in it. So, the salts are the chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates, carbonates, bromides of sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, etc. The major part of the salinity is due to the sodium chloride. The 27% of salinity due to sodium chloride. So, the organisms which can survive in this salinity, which can survive in this osmolarity. So they are the main biota of the marine habitat. Another limiting factor is light. So, light penetration is only up to 200 meters depth, which form the photic region or euphotic region. So, from the surface water up to 200 meters depth, you will it is a illuminated area. You will find there is producers restricted to this. Beyond 200 meters, the sea extend deep up to 14,000 meters or 20,000 meters sometimes in the trench. It is total darkness. So it is you can see the producers only you will find in the euphotic region. So depending on this, you will also find the consumers distribution. Then water pressure. Water pressure varies. It is at a different depth. In the surface water, it is the pressure is not that much, and as you go deep, you will find the pressure increases. It varies between 10 atmospheric pressure up to 1000 atmospheric pressure. So the water pressure is affecting the movement of the actively moving animals in the sea. So already I mentioned the sea is dominated by the currents, waves, and tides. A large movement of water in one direction is a current. So you will find the currents are coming to the shore region, and the differences in the temperature and salinity drive the deep ocean currents. Waves on the ocean surface are formed by wind. When wind blows, it transfers its energy through friction. Waves play a important role in the ecosystems of mainly coastal ecosystem or shore ecosystem. So even the waves, currents, and tides, they play a major role in the distributions of the floating organisms, distributions of the eggs, distributions of many organisms. So that's why it is a major limiting factor. Tides alternate rise and fall of sea water levels caused by the combined effects of gravitational forces of moon, sun, and earth rotation. So, if you been to the seashore, so seashore, if you are there for about 5 to 6 hours, you may see sometimes of the there will be high tide time, and then sometimes of the day will be low tide times. All these are because of the gravitational forces of moon, sun, and earth rotation. So it is high tide when water covers much of the shore. You will find in this picture. So it is water cover. So in the low tide the water receded, you will find, right? So that is, you can see this area will be now exposed and no water now. So this is you can see the during low tide. In the high tide, this area is covered with the water. Then currents, waves and tides, differences in air and temperature between the poles and equator develop strong winds, which together with the rotation of earth create definite currents, which bring the distribution of the nutrients, eggs, larvae and floating organisms called planktons. So another limiting factor which is affecting the distribution of organisms, uh, sea depth. Life forms are present in all depths of sea but abundant in neritic zone, that is the near shore region or littoral region. Near the shore region of the sea you will able to find the abundant life forms. So life forms in that the produce are restricted only up to the euphotic zone where the light penetration you will find. So that's where you can see the sea depth affects the distribution of the organisms. Then another important limiting factor is temperature. So temperature changes diurnally and seasonally. So the temperature is also having a profound effect on the distribution of the organisms. Next, uh, coming to the zonation of sea. So, sea is the vast water body. So, in this, the distribution of organisms, we cannot study as a whole. We have to see that into different zones, and we have to study the structure of the zones and the adaptations of the organisms in these different zones. So there are, you can see the major zonation, pelagic zone and benthic zone. Pelagic zone is the open water zone and benthic is the bottom zone or the sea bottom. So the sea bottom starts from the shore up to the deep sea bottom. So it is divided into supratidal zone, intertidal zone, subtidal zone, bathyal zone, abyssal zone, hadal zone. So from the shore, so supratidal, next intertidal, subtidal, bathyal, abyssal and hadal. The horizontal zonation is the zonation of the horizontally. You will find neritic zone, near shore zone, pleritic zone, it is the oceanic zone or open water zone. So further it is the open water is further divided vertically. So this is what you can see, the horizontal zonation. So this near shore region, shallow water zone, and this is the deep water zone you will find. So from the shore up to here, so light blue color you will find. So this is the forming the neritic zone. So it is from the shore up to 200 meters you will find neritic zone, shallow water zone or littoral zone. And beyond this 200 meters, this zone, open water zone, this is called the pleritic zone. This is how horizontal zonation. Then vertical zonation, so where you can see this the epipelagic region, mesopelagic region together here. The epipelagic is just the from the surface just 200 meters epipelagic zone. It is properly illuminated by the sunlight. Then poorly illuminated zone, that is mesopelagic. Then beyond 1000 meters, so all these you will find it is aphotic zone, no light, total darkness. So light rays or sunlight not going to penetrate in this zone. It is from the top, bathypelagic, abyssal pelagic, hadal pelagic. So bathypelagic 1000 meters to the the up to the 4000 meters. Beyond 4000 meters, you will find abyssal pelagic. Beyond 6000 meters, you can see the heddle zone. So, the sea bottom is not uniform. It is similar to how exactly you will see on the terrestrial habitat. It is dominated by the mountains, valleys and plains. A similar structure you will find in the sea bottom also. So, this is in this you will find the column how exactly the darkness, the depending on the illumination. So this is vertical zonation. So again you will find how exactly the benthic zonation you will find the sea bottom. So the supratidal zone, intertidal zone, then you can see up to 200 meters shallow water and shallow bottom you will find, and this is called continental shelf. And then you can see in every sea there is a sudden slope you will find, it is called continental slope you will find. So this you can see the up to 200 meters shallow water, and you can see there is a sudden slope you will able to see in the bottom of the sea or in the benthic zone. So this is depicted in this picture, you will see properly. So here this is the shore. In this area you will find the shore, and this region up to here you will find the shallow water, then sudden slope you will be able to find, and this is called continental slope. So it is from the benthic zone or the sea bottom is divided into supratidal zone, intertidal zone, subtidal zone, then you can see bathyal zone, then abyssal zone and heddle zone, that is the deep water trenches beyond 10,000 meters you will find the heddle zone. So from here to this is beyond 1000 meters it is total darkness. So this is again I have drawn here the picture, and this is very important, and you should remember this the picture. And this is zonation and neritic zone, pleritic zone, horizontal zonation you will find neritic and this is vertical zonation, epipelagic, mesopelagic, then bathypelagic, abyssal pelagic and heddle pelagic, and these are the zonation in the benthic region, supratidal, intertidal, subtidal, and you can see the bathyal zone, heddle zone. So this is again I have shown here. So neritic and pleritic zone. So from the shore up to 200 meters. So you will find light blue zone. It is the neritic zone. So beyond that, the dark blue, this will be the oceanic zone or pleritic zone. So this is about the zonation of sea. So what about the biota or marine habitat? I am going to discuss in my next talk. Thank you.